Let me guess. You make just enough money to survive, but not enough to breathe. Your bank account looks like it's playing hide and seek, and every payday disappears faster than a free sample at Costco. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't need a six-figure salary to become rich. You just need a six-figure strategy. And nobody's telling you what that actually looks like, until now. Because if your paycheck is struggling to keep up, you're going to want to watch this entire video, because today, I'm breaking down 10 quiet strategies to build wealth on a small salary. No lottery tickets, no sugar daddies, no scams. The fact of the matter is, most people think wealth is about how much you earn. But I'm sorry to break it to you, this is far from the truth. Wealth is about how much you keep, how smart you grow it, and how quietly you move while everyone else is trying to flex for strangers on the internet. If you've ever said, "I'll start saving when I make more money," seriously, that's like saying, "I'll start exercising when I'm already fit." That mentality simply doesn't make sense. The strategies I'm about to reveal are just real-life tactics that normal people use to quietly become financially free. Let's jump right into it. Strategy 1, pay yourself like you owe you money. All right, now I know that sounds weird, but let me ask you something. If you owed your landlord $300 and didn't pay, what would happen? Exactly. Eviction papers, passive-aggressive emails, and maybe a U-Haul. So why is it that when it comes to you owing you money, you let it slide like it's no big deal? You've got to treat your future self like the most ruthless bill collector on earth. Because here's the harsh truth most people never say out loud. Nobody's coming to build your wealth for you. Not your boss, not your parents, not the government. Only you can make the transfer from barely surviving to secretly thriving. And that starts with paying yourself first, no matter how small the amount. Let me try and give you an easy example so you can clearly understand. Let's say you make $2,500 a month before a single bill gets paid, before you even smell a pizza. You set up an automatic transfer of $50 to a high-yield savings or investment account. Now, I already see people in the comments saying things like, "But $50 isn't going to make me rich." You're right, but that's not the point. The point is this. It rewires your brain to see wealth building as a non-negotiable, not a maybe someday if I feel like it situation. Most people pay rent, groceries, Netflix, Uber Eats, and then, if there's anything left, they might save. That's backwards. Flip it. Treat yourself like a bill. Pay you first, even if it's $10 a week, even if it feels pointless. Because here's the secret. Wealth doesn't start with money. It starts with habit. Every time you pay yourself first, you're telling your brain, "Hey, future me matters." And that mindset shift is what creates future millionaires. You're not broke because you don't make enough. You're broke because you don't keep enough. And that stops today. Now that you've set up a system to pay yourself like a non-negotiable expense. Let's start by exposing the tiny financial leaks draining your paycheck every month. And you won't believe how sneaky they are. Strategy 2. Track every dollar like it owes you rent. You ever check your account and say, "Where the hell did my money go?" It didn't vanish. It just left quietly. $6 coffee here, $14 delivery fee there, $57 Target run that was only supposed to be toothpaste. You can't fix what you don't track. Use an app. Use a spreadsheet. Use sticky notes and witchcraft, but track every single dollar. Use apps like Mint, YNAB, or Monarch, or just open a notes app and start logging. When you track your money, you control your money. And when you control your money, you stop wondering where it went and start telling it where to go. Because awareness is a superpower. Most people don't have a money problem, they have a clarity problem. This is a real-life mindset flip you need to understand. When you see your spending in black and white, it forces accountability. You stop pretending you're saving money by cooking once a week while door dashing 5 times. All right, we've stopped the bleeding. Now, let's make your small salary feel bigger without asking your boss for a raise. Strategy 3. Live like you're broke, even if you're not. Here's a spicy truth. Rich people look poor. Poor people try to look rich. Don't fall for the trap. You don't need Gucci slides, a leased Mercedes, or $60 brunches to prove you're doing okay. Want to build wealth on a small salary? Start by living like your salary is even smaller. This is called stealth living. And it's how people making $40,000 retire before people making $140,000. Living below your means is powerful, but what if you could expand your means without getting a second job? let's talk hidden income. Strategy 4. Build quiet income streams that don't ruin your life. Let's get one thing straight. You don't need to grind yourself into dust pulling double shifts, moonlighting as a barista, or working 14-hour days just to make extra money. That's hustle culture propaganda. You don't need a 9-to-5 and a 6-to-10. You need income streams that work in the background. The goal isn't to replace your job tomorrow. The goal is to slowly stack income layers so your small salary gets backup. We're talking selling digital products, flipping Facebook Marketplace finds, freelance gigs you do once a week, stock photo licensing, writing faceless YouTube scripts. This is the quiet hustle. It's not glamorous, you're not going viral, but you're making $200 a month doing something most people never thought of. Here's what people get wrong. They think side income has to be loud, trendy, time-consuming, or some risky business launch. Nope. The quietest streams are often the most sustainable. Think about it. The loudest people online always talking about money, usually broke. The quiet ones? Making passive cash selling a Notion template they made once in 2022, $200 a month invested wisely equals $47,000 in 10 years. That's more than most people's retirement savings. So, what happens when you start making a little extra? You invest, right? Wrong. First, you protect it. Strategy 5, make your money untouchable. All right, so you're finally stacking a little cash from paying yourself first and building a quiet income stream. Congrats. Now, let's make sure you don't sabotage yourself. Because here's the brutal truth. Most people don't need a financial advisor. They need financial handcuffs. Here's a trick. Set up a second bank account at a completely different bank. No debit card, no app, just a digital vault. Every time you get paid, automate a transfer, even if it's $25. Now that money, off limits. Out of sight equals out of mind equals still there in 12 months. This is how people on small salaries accidentally save $1,500, $5,000, or even $10,000 over time. We live in a world of easy access. One tap on your phone and poof, your savings vanish into a $64 Amazon order that started with just browsing. You can't out-discipline dopamine, so don't try. Outsmart it instead. If your savings are easy to access, they're easy to destroy. So put a lock on your progress, because broke people check their balances. Rich people forget they even have one. All right, you've got stealth income and locked up savings, but sitting on cash won't build wealth. Time to make that money go to work, even if it's only $5. Let's talk investing for the not rich yet. Strategy 6, invest, even if it's $5 at a time. All right, I'm just gonna say it. Let's cut the fluff. If you're waiting until you make more money to invest, you'll be waiting forever. Because guess what? People who make more money just find more expensive ways to stay broke. I'll invest when I have more money. Nope, you'll have more money when you invest. Use apps like Acorns, Fidelity, M1 Finance. Charles Schwab. No, it's not just for old people. Start small, $5 a week. That's it. Why? Because time in the market beats timing the market. And the earlier you start, the richer you get, even if you're broke. Mindset shift. Wealth equals ownership. You know what broke people do with $20? Spend it on a vibe. Starbucks, DoorDash, or some random gadget they saw on TikTok. You know what wealthy people do with $20? They buy ownership. Poor people buy things. Rich people buy income. If you can own a piece of a business, even a microscopic slice, you're playing a different game. So basically, it goes like this. If your money isn't making money, you'll always be trading time for it. Small salary? Cool. Small investments? Even better. Because starting small trains you for the day, your money isn't small anymore. So now, your money's working. But are you working smart? Let's flip the script and teach you how to use rich math, even if your paycheck is tiny. Strategy 7. Use the rich math formula. Let's be honest. You probably passed high school algebra by the grace of Google. But this is the only math that actually matters. Poor people do math based on income. Rich people do math based on impact. The broke budget breakdown. Let's say you make $3,000 a month. Here's how the average person budgets it. Rent, $1,200. Car payment, $500. Food, $600. Subscriptions, fun, and just vibes, $600. Leftover savings, $100 if they're lucky. That's called poor math. living at the edge of your income and hoping for a miracle. This is how people earning modest incomes outpace six-figure earners drowning in lifestyle debt. Use the 50-30-20 rule: 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% wealth building. And if you can flip that, even better. What most people get wrong: they think budgeting is about restriction. Try again. Budgeting is about intention. You're not cutting back, you're cutting out the distractions that keep you broke. Poor math equals I deserve this now. Rich math equals I deserve freedom later. And spoiler alert, freedom tastes way better than a $7 latte. It's not how much you earn, it's what you do with what you keep. Small income? Use smart math. That's how underpaid teachers retire with six figures, and overpaid influencers go broke in 3 years. Okay, you've got the math. But even the smartest math won't save you if you're still falling for middle-class money traps that look smart but are secretly destroying your wealth. Let's expose them. Strategy 8. Kill the middle-class debt traps. This one's gonna sting a little, but somebody's gotta say it. Middle-class people don't go broke because of poverty. They go broke trying to look like they're not, and yeah, we're going there. Let's talk about the financial traps disguised as normal that are slowly bleeding you dry. Buy now, pay later, a scam, car leases, robbery, credit card minimum payments, highway theft in legal form. You don't need debt to live well. You need discipline to live free. Why middle-class traps are so dangerous? They're socially acceptable. Nobody questions you for financing a car, swiping for vacations, racking up monthly payments for lifestyle upgrades. In fact, they'll cheer you on. Meanwhile, the person driving the 2008 Corolla with a Roth IRA gets laughed at. But guess who's winning? Broke looks rich, rich looks boring. If you can't pay cash, you can't afford it, period. Unless it's for a used, reliable car, a mortgage with low interest, student loans that actually get you a valuable degree. Everything else? Cut it. Debt keeps poor people poor, and the middle class stuck. If your lifestyle is financed, your freedom is forfeited. Stop making payments on things that don't pay you back. Stop buying approval from people who don't pay your bills. Kill the trap before it kills your future. So now you've cut the hidden chains. Good, but what if you could disappear financially? Not to hide, but to protect your wealth, your peace, and your freedom. Let's go full stealth mode. Strategy 9. Practice stealth wealth, the art of being invisible and rich. Let's play a quick game. Picture a millionaire. You probably imagined a dude in designer shades, sitting in a Lamborghini, sipping sparkling water flown in from the Swiss Alps. Cool fantasy. Now, meet the real millionaire. Drives a 10-year-old car, wears $25 jeans from Costco, doesn't have Instagram, has 7 figures quietly compounding in index funds. You walk past this person in Target and don't even blink, because they don't look rich. That's the point. What is stealth wealth? Stealth wealth is the art of building serious money without making it anyone else's business. It's financial success that doesn't come with a spotlight, a flex, or a neon sign that screams, "I made it!" Why? Because the loudest people in the room are usually compensating, not winning. Want to build wealth on a small salary? Don't let people know you're building wealth. Why? Because when no one expects you to have money, you don't feel pressure to spend it to prove it. No flex, no lifestyle creep. Just silent progress. Stealth wealth equals freedom. You're the person wearing a $12 hoodie and a $200,000 net worth. Bonus, it protects you from drama, leeches, bad advice, and financial comparison. Mindset shift: rich isn't a look, it's a strategy. Want to know the real flex? Financial peace, freedom from debt, owning your time, not worrying about a $300 emergency, not needing to ask for time off. Let the influencers have their filters. You're building real freedom, quietly. The goal isn't to impress strangers. The goal is to retire early, sleep peacefully, and have choices. Stealth wealth gives you all of that, without the noise. Now that you've mastered stealth and stopped leaking money for status, let's talk about the final weapon in your small salary arsenal: automation. Because the less you think about money, the more it grows without you noticing. Strategy 10. Automate everything, then forget about it. All right, you've survived the traps. You've paid yourself first. You're stacking small investments, building quiet income, and flying under the radar like a financial ninja. So now what? Now you stop trying to stay motivated and you start using machines to win for you. Because here's the truth no one likes to admit: you will not always be disciplined. You will not always be focused, but you can always be automated. You're not trying to become a full-time money manager. You're trying to become rich quietly. Automate paycheck split, savings transfers, retirement contributions, bill pay, rent. The less you rely on willpower, the more likely you win. Because let's be real, you're not going to manually save $50 every week. But if it's automated, you won't miss it. Here's the truth. You don't need to earn more to become wealthy. You need to behave differently with what you already have. Quiet wealth isn't about flash. It's about habits, systems, stealth, and patience when everyone else is rushing. So if your paycheck feels small, cool. Your strategy just got huge. Discipline is great. Automation is greater. Because automation works when you're tired, broke, or distracted. You don't need to think your way to wealth. You just need to build the system and let it run. So if you want the easiest, most foolproof way to grow money on a small salary, set it and forget it. Let robots do the heavy lifting, while you live your life stress-free. Because wealth is built day by day, not paycheck by paycheck. If this opened your eyes even a little, comment the words, "I'm building wealth." We're watching. We're rooting for you. In fact, there are actually 15 things poor people don't know about money. Want to know what it is? We break it down step by step in complete detail. Just click the video on the screen now, and we'll see you in the next one.